Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network. Over 100,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
There, everybody, and welcome to another Sports
Podcast.
I'm Joel Anderson.
I'm Jordan Pomaville.
And joining us, as always, is the sports outsider, Phil Ranta.
Sometimes I wonder why I'm outside.
Because we can't stand to look at you.
Oh, I just don't know anything about sports.
That's not it at all.
That was a bit much. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's
I just don't know anything about sports.
He is the layman's perspective.
Yeah, the laid man's perspective.
Well, Jordan and I are the expert perspective.
Yeah, that's it.
We know so much more about sports than anybody.
You guys do know a lot about sports. But I'm not even being
for people who have a sports podcast, though, we don't really know that much.
I would say that's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
But we present it in a comical way, which is the premise of the Sports Podcast.
We're going to get a theme song someday that explains the premise. I know I keep going back to it.
Well, hear y'all's story of men named Jordan, Joel, and Phil. They were poor in Los Angeles, comedians, not very rich. And then one day they got a podcast. And
you don't have to do this, Phil.
I know, Sports Podcast.
You stole the melody, and then you made up the
Oil,
words.
that is.
The words are the worst part.
Texas tea.
You really could have bailed on that.
I really could have. I kept going.
All right.
Okay, well, let's jump right in.
You see any games this week, Phil?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see any games. Why do you keep asking me that?
Because that's how the podcast starts.
Oh, that's right. That's more the... And then they ask Phil if he's seen a sport. He says no, and they go on with the podcast.
Tech Mobile Update, Watch Update.
Tech Mobile Update, Watch Update, brought to you by...
Febreze. Don't spray it in your eyes or you'll taste it.
They get weirder and weirder.
But it's that one I feel like is a public service.
Yeah. But will you taste it if it's sprayed in your eyes?
Probably not, no.
Well, before I believe he did spray it in his eyes. I feel like, right?
Yeah.
I feel like this is kind of like the McBain stuff from Simpsons, where if you cut them all together, then it has one narrative.
Yeah.
Like if you cut... Seriously, they did it on YouTube. If you cut all the McBain things from Simpsons together, it's one movie.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, go look it up. After you
cool
listen to the podcast, don't turn off the podcast.
Here's the thing. I don't feel like in all of the Febreze drops we've gotten, the Febreze has ever been sprayed on anything other than this person's head.
Right.
In his
probably
mouth,
spray it around
in
the
his
room.
eyes, his nose. You'd think he'd be spraying it on upholstered furniture,
Yeah,
something
spraying
like
on
that.
upholstered
But no.
Furniture. It works in your car. It works on jeans you haven't washed in a while.
Hey,
Right.
they're not paying us for this. They just paid us for the drop.
All right,
No,
Phil.
that's true, but I'm just saying. No, not one of these drops does he spray the Febreze in a way that's appropriate to spray
That's
Febreze.
fair.
Let's talk about something slightly more relevant.
Okay, yeah.
The 1991 San Francisco
Yes,
49ers.
Yes, as everybody knows, I am playing Tecmo Super Bowl as the 1991 San Francisco 49ers. I'm currently in Week 13. Well, I just finished Week 13, where I took on our very own Los Angeles Rams.
Game is a little old.
Yep, the LA Rams.
No longer in Los
To
Angeles.
the point when that popped up, I'm like, are they talking about Louisiana? Was there an LA Rams? I honestly, I swear up and down, I don't know much about sports, but I feel like I should know that there was once an LA Rams. I did not know
The
that.
Louisiana Rams.
I didn't know there was.
I like how you felt like you should have known that there was an LA Rams, but your alternate theory that you posed was like, was there a Louisiana Rams?
Right, because I
the
would
game
know.
he sees L.A. Rams.
No, I
Yeah.
get that. I'm just saying he feels like he should have known that there was a Los Angeles Rams.
Right, but luckily for me as a player with Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, 1991 49ers, LA Rams not very good. I ended up beating them 61-7.
Oh!
7 was because they had one really great running back whose name is escaping me right now.
Anderson.
No,
Something Anderson, right? Otis Anderson?
he was not Anderson.
Oh,
but he
was it
very good.
Dickerson?
No,
Did
Really?
the Rams have
I think
Anderson?
I was
W.
gonna-
Was there a W? I'm seeing a
Ooh.
W. The spirits from beyond are telling me there's a W. Well, regardless, look it up in the annals of history. I beat them 61-7. The reason why I beat them so much was because all of my guys were guarded every single time.
Oh, wow.
Send them out long, running with Joe Montana.
This still works.
Jerry Rice got a couple touchdowns because there was a couple breakaways. I did some risky passes. But Joe Montana, 210 yards rushing. 210 yards. He's a regular Barrett T. Sanders.
It's not as
He was really good.
This is wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's we've discussed it before.
Yeah. So now I'm at 12 wins, 0 losses.
The road to, what is it in this case? It's
Super Bowl.
17-0, 18-0.
Or wait, no, it'll be 16-0 and then
This is
2 playoff games
1991.
in the Super Bowl, 19-0.
How could I
Okay.
forget this? I almost forgot a very important part. I clinched my division.
Oh, congratulations!
Yep. Surprised it took you this long, but
Yes. So they showed me a little graphic, little 8-bit animated graphic where it showed all of my guys cheering. We're so
You clinched the
excited.
division.
Yeah, I clinched it.
Hey Phil, who do you got next week?
I don't know.
Why don't you know?
Because I never look forward, Joel.
Darn
you gotta
right
stay
you
in the
never look
game you're
forward.
playing
Right.
at that time.
All right, Tecmo Bowl update, watch update.
Tecmo Bowl update, watch update, brought to you by
Febreze! Oh, wait, you're supposed to spray it in the room. I've been doing it wrong this whole time.
It's almost like they heard me.
What?
Wow, that's
That
crazy.
drop
We
is
got that drop
odd.
before we even started the podcast.
Yeah.
The
so-
drop is often a payoff of what we talk about after we hear the first
That's
drop.
weird because I just got the drop box where I just hit the button on the drop box and place the
Wow.
drop.
All right, what do we got in the podcast today?
Let's see. We got the news segment.
Right.
Doing a little format change here, folks.
We're breaking it out from the intro because our intro was 15 minutes long.
Yes, our intro often the majority of our show.
Right, so now it's going to be its own thing.
And that'll be
Yeah.
great. And we also have some Hollywood sports with our Hollywood sports correspondent, Kris Humphries.
Oh,
Very
that's gonna be
great guy.
great. Doesn't he have a game right now?
He does. He plays for the Brooklyn Knights.
Yeah.
Sure.
They're playing the Chicago Bulls in the first round of
Okay.
the NBA playoffs.
Good
But
for him.
we're able to get him.
All right.
He's being very flexible to help us out, being our Hollywood correspondent. There's a lot going on in the world of sports in Hollywood right
Yeah.
now.
And
we
he
wanna-
loves doing it. The joy on his little face, it's like a baby on Christmas morning.
So happy.
Babies on Christmas morning, I think, are mostly just confused. Like,
All right.
what is going on today?
And Phil, do we have a weird sport?
You're goddamn right we do.
All
all
right.
right.
Let's kick it off.
News.
Now it's time for the news on the Sports Podcast with Jordan, Joel, and Phil.
That's great.
Yeah.
New drop. I love it.
New ticker tape machine.
Yeah. We actually got somebody from the 20s to do it in our time machine.
Yeah.
I hate your reasoning.
Joel Jordan hates reasoning behind things.
Oh, European player. Let me. Fuck you, Phil. European soccer player bites a guy. Reinforces America's perception of soccer players.
A bunch
Yeah.
of ankle biters.
That's right. Liverpool striker, that's a position in soccer, Luis Suarez bit a Chelsea defender, Branislav Ivanovic, on the arm during Sunday's match, which ended in, you guessed it, a tie. Everybody wins. Soccer practically invented the participation trophy. Suarez could be in for a lengthy punishment because the dude has priors. In 2010, he was suspended for 7 games for biting Atman Bakal on the shoulder during a game that ended in a 0-0 draw.
What? He's a multiple biter?
He has bit people on 2 occasions.
I thought people move so fast in soccer. How do you bite them? You have to like leap at them.
I imagine you're both kicking a ball.
Yep.
Or something you get a little
That
close.
sounds like soccer.
But basically, you bite someone for the second time in 3 years, you're probably down, and you think there's nobody in the world who could possibly relate to the pressure you're under and how you feel.
Right.
Enter Mike Tyson! he called into a radio show and said,
He bit someone. It happens. I'm sure that he'll make amends with this guy. I made amends with Evander, and we got on with our lives.
the best part about this quote is, he bit someone, it happens. You know, that's like,
It
you know,
happens.
oh, I scuffed my new shoes. It happens.
Yeah.
I hit every light on the way to work. It happens.
Yeah.
Right.
I got bit today by a guy.
Right. Oh, it
It
happens.
happens.
You get
No.
bit sometimes.
No.
So let me guess. He bit the guy on the shoulder,
Right.
which caused that guy to suffer a debilitating ligament tear in his knee. And
Pause.
then that guy miraculously had the ligament tear heal 5 minutes after he initially had it happen.
Like the magic water and the
Yeah, the
thing
magic
they do.
water.
It happens.
Tyson also started to follow Suarez on Twitter.
I saw this guy on Twitter thing, and I thought I would check it out and see what his journey was all about.
So there you go, Mike Tyson. This is not a joke. It reached out to this guy who has bitten someone twice in 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's going to be probably suspended.
Who, Mike Tyson?
Oh.
From Twitter? Twitter's going to be like, you go to your room, Mike Tyson.
No, Twitter knows. Mike Tyson's their meal ticket.
Yeah, that's true.
Twitter needs people like Mike Tyson, the Iron Sheik, and Jose
Chuck
Canseco.
Sheen.
Oh,
The pantheon of sports biting incidents.
Yeah.
They do happen relatively often. People get bit in sports.
Mike
Especially when you
Tyson's
play
notably
Bitey
violent.
Ball. Bitey Ball has a lot of it.
Don't
Whoa.
ruin next week's weird
Yes.
sport.
Oh, I'm
Weird
sorry.
sports.
I'll have to think of a new one quick.
Sources reveal name of upcoming college football playoff.
Oh, okay.
Beginning in 2014, we will scrap the much-maligned Bowl Championship Series for a 4-team college football playoff,
Woo.
which, according to sources, will be called College Football Playoff.
Yeah, what
Oh
a new
my.
media-friendly name. You know exactly what you're getting.
It will be simple, BCS Executive Director Bill Hancock said earlier this week. Mission accomplished, Bill!
Yeah.
That is a simple name. The title was created by the same people who write the programming info for cable companies. College Football Playoff. Sports. 180 minutes.
Perfect.
The name, while accurately describing what the games are, is not deserving of an announcement or sources to leak the information, which is how it initially got out.
Hey, I got a hot tip.
What's
do
that?
you want to hear what the college football champions are going to be called?
Do I ever?
Yeah, it's college football champions. You didn't hear it from me. And then he disappears into a dark alley, and you're like, well, the guy who used to live in this alley died 20 years ago.
That is the twist that we never got out of Woodward and Bernstein.
Right.
What do you mean, Deep Throat? Deep Throat's been dead for 15 years.
He choked to death because his throat was too shallow.
This is, I think, a decidedly different tack from the one taken by the Big Ten.
Yeah, well, they're now renaming the divisions, though.
To East and West,
East
right?
and West, yeah.
What a novel idea.
Wow.
Where did they ever come up with that?
It's
Why
better than
don't they-
Legends and Leaders.
What? Yeah, no. I'm sure there's some completely idiotic way that they could name the divisions before they go with directional ones like everybody else ever. Why don't they call it? I don't know. How about helmets and shoes? The helmet division and the shoes division.
I
Well,
wanna
I
be in
think
the helmets
change
division.
it. I have a pitch on that. Helmets and cleats. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Things you need to play football.
Oh, they should call it shirts and skins.
Yeah, shirts and skins.
And
Why
the
not
half,
shirts
a
and
different
skins?
one is shirts, a different one. One team has helmets and pads. The other one's just sitting there with their shirt off, going, "Oh, don't hit me! Don't hit me! Don't hit me!"
How about wrong side of the tracks and right side of the tracks?
Oh, I'd want to be on the wrong side of the tracks. That's way scarier.
Yeah, those are the guys with character issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
DJ 1 Foot in Bounds is coming to a practice field near you.
Wicked, wicked. Yeah,
Sorry,
that's the
DJ
every time
1
you
foot
DJ.
in bounds?
College football teams are reportedly ditching playlists at practice in favor of DJs.
Wicked, wicked.
This can only mean we're very close to themed parties at practice and GHB spiked water bottles.
I'm sorry, do they already have, like, playlists at practice?
Well, they often will play music.
Like the
They're
Banga Boys or a Jock Jams. Really get things
I
like.
guess
we
they play
like
the
the
music
party.
they play at practice.
Sometimes it's to simulate, crowd noise,
Oh, okay.
stuff like that. So, and the players, they like the music. They're the kid. The kids like the music. The young kids,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like the
Will you take me higher? I bet they play that a lot.
Creed, the #1 of college football
Yeah.
practice
Yeah.
charts.
If
Totally.
you lose, kids, it's going to be Creed all week next week. Maybe some Nickelback, but mostly Creed.
Oh God.
I've never seen the team play this hard.
You won't make us listen to Creed and Nickelback.
Good God.
Nope, on Gangnam Style. No.
Good effort. However, too many holding penalties. Here's Pearl Jam. Oh, no.
Jeremy Smoker. No, come on.
All right, it appears Oregon State started the trend, which can only be described as an attempt to out-Oregon Oregon.
That makes sense.
Neon uniforms with feathers. Oh, that's cool, I guess, if you don't have a fucking DJ at your practice. Texas A&M and Louisiana Lafayette have both added DJs to practice, with Louisiana Lafayette actually bringing the DJ along to spin in the locker room before and after games.
Nice.
Trip hop if you win, Brooklyn House trance if you lose. But really, if that's the case, who wants to win?
Right, exactly. I want to listen to Skrillex.
Hey, wow, you are hip.
Yep, I know who Skrillex. We have this thing that we do at work we call Cajun DJ. And he always goes, I do declare I like to listen to the Skrillex. That's pretty much the entirety of the impression.
Skrillex named the number 98 best guitar player ever by Spin Magazine.
What?
Spin Magazine says a lot of things.
Yeah, Spin Magazine retarded.
Yep.
All right, well, now let's go to On the Phone, because he's currently in the NBA playoffs.
Yeah.
Kris Humphries, our Hollywood sports correspondent.
Hey, Kris.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you,
Okay,
Kris.
because I'm at a game right now. So it's very hard for me to hear over a phone.
Wait, you're at?
A game?
I'm at a game right now.
This is taped. We can call you back
Yeah,
another time.
Are you sure? Because I just said, hold on, let me sit on this bench for a while because I got to make a call. Because I'm a big Hollywood reporter now.
Told your coach this.
To be honest, he was very upset.
I can imagine
He did not
would be.
understand my motivations.
Okay, well, we're glad you made us a priority then, Kris.
Well, I'm glad to be here because, as per usual, I'm Kris Humphries, and I've got the poop.
Right,
on
that's
Hollywood.
That's
the name of my segment.
I really wish we had
got the
talked
poop.
about the name of that segment before we
Yeah.
went with it. All right, so
the show may be named after number 2, but I am number 1. That's going to be my new tagline.
Actually,
really
why
wish
not,
we
though,
talked
Kris?
about that tagline too.
I thought about it for the entire first half of the game. I did not play very well.
Okay, well, real quick, I'm going to come up. We're looking at the number 1 headline combining sports and entertainment this week, and it is Kim Kardashian's divorce is finalized.
To be honest, I
I'm
was
really sorry,
surprised you
Kris.
had me talk about this again.
Yeah, I know. That's what we did last time.
I could do a lot of in-depth reporting. I could do some deep throat things.
Yeah,
I could break into a government building and I could take some files away.
No,
do
you're a
that.
Hollywood sports reporter. We
Yeah.
want you to talk at the nexus of
But
where
I really
Hollywood
dream of
meets
doing
sport.
hard journalism someday.
Okay, yeah.
I want to get the poop on America.
That's
my dream.
Please,
Hollywood is fun and all.
please don't repeat that phrase,
What?
Chris. I want to get the poop on America.
America.
Yeah, that's not.
Oh, well, that's going to be the name of my first book.
Okay.
I better talk to my publisher because they thought it was hilarious.
Right. Well, Chris, we are sorry that once again we have decided to have you on the
No,
show.
it's fine. I did my research.
You did your
I
research
did.
on your divorce.
I looked back into my diary that's under my pillow. I unlocked it because it's got a little locking on it, and I did some research. All right.
Okay.
Little known fact about me and Kim Kardashian: we were married for 72 days.
Everybody knows that. Literally everybody knows that.
That was
Even
it's been
I knew
in
that,
every
and I-
story.
I didn't count. I'm not like somebody who's in jail who's making little tick marks in the wall. I didn't count day by day. I had to read about that in the news. I was like, I could have sworn it was a year, but it wasn't. It was only 72 days.
Is this sort of hard news reporting?
To be honest, I am not very good at math, and that's
Okay.
why I don't count very much.
All right,
Okay.
but now obviously it's been since you've been separated. It's been a very long time from beginning of end of you guys living together and acting married until the finalization of the divorce.
Yeah, well,
Kim has actually moved in with another man and gotten knocked up in that time.
no, that's true. Little known fact, though, to be honest, Kim first filed for divorce in October 2011.
What, we're
That's
aware
a
of that.
little known
Yeah.
fact. No,
That's
you wouldn't know
not
because
that-
it's a little known.
No.
I don't know a lot of places.
Chris,
back
When
again.
I read that, I was so surprised I ship my pants. Just like that Kmart commercial where they talk about shipping pants. They talk about shipping it in, but it sounds like they're saying poop.
Okay.
I have seen those
yes.
commercials. They're very
They
funny.
ship my pants. It's very funny.
Okay. Yeah.
To be honest, astute critics have noticed that our separation battle has lasted longer than our marriage, which is 536 days. Much longer than the marriage.
That's true.
I had to look at microfiche to figure that out. I went to a library and looked at microfiche.
Chris,
I thought it would be small little trouts, but it wasn't.
Are
It
you
was-
sure your plans to switch to hard news and write a book are good ones?
Founded in reality, maybe.
Because
Oh, yeah, I
because
wanna-
all of the research you're talking about, this is all.
Did you know
really
that
well
Barack
known.
Obama probably wasn't born in America?
No,
That's
not
hard
true.
news.
That is
that's
not
I
true at
got the
all.
poop on Barack Obama.
I really okay.
To be honest, I know more about him than he knows about himself.
That's
wanna
something
get
for the
to
book
him.
jacket.
But
really.
yeah, that's not what you hired me for, and I'm going to go over the story about this Kris Humphries fella and the Kim
thing where you
Kardashian divorce. That's me. I'm Kris Humphries.
Yeah.
Now-
you got the poop on Kris Humphries too.
I know.
Yeah.
I know one of the hardest things about this divorce is basically everyone. I mean, including the LA Times, they actually had a headline that's saying that you were the loser in this divorce.
Well, no, that is not accurate.
A lot of people have said
It
that.
took me a lot of research to figure that out, and no, I was not the loser.
But I mean, what did you get out of the divorce settlement?
Well,
It seemed like.
to be honest, I love Twitter, and if they had a commercial for Twitter, it would be a little bird and go, tweet, tweet, I got the poop just like Kris Humphries. But no, they don't have a commercial for you, but that would be funny to see a talking bird. But when I was on Twitter right after the divorce, there was a tweet that went out that said, couldn't be happier at Kris Humphries.
That's what you tweeted.
That's what I tweeted. Couldn't be happier.
Be
That
honest with
shows
us,
that
Kris.
I-
When you tweeted that, were you watching a particularly funny commercial?
I was. I was watching. There was a Geico, and the Geico was a talking Geico.
You can't honestly
and he
still
said,
like the Geico
he
commercials,
said, I
can
am
you?
from British, and not speaking of accent. It was very funny. It was very funny.
It's ridiculous to think that a gecko could talk.
Yeah, but here's how it was way ahead. All right, I was seeking $7 million for annulment and attorney fees.
Okay.
That's a winner. That's a winner move.
Right, but you did not get any money.
I did not get any of that
You
money.
did
Wait a
not
second.
get
State
an
of
annulment.
California, he's entitled to half of her money, right?
And you have to pay your
One
own.
would think that I would be entitled to have the money, but no, they said you're a basketball player, and I said you are right, and a Hollywood reporter. I have 2 jobs. To
Clearly,
be honest,
the
I am.
dual income stream may have hurt your case in the court.
That's true. I am not. I am braggadocious, to say the least. To be honest, it is part of my downfall.
Well, you know, I don't know if this makes you feel any better, but there are actually rumors that Kanye has been seen with a blonde in Paris, and that Kim, putting on a lot of weight in her pregnancy, that they're now Splitsville.
Oh, to be honest, she is now 200 pounds
What?
of pregnant.
Whoa.
She is
200 pounds.
200 pounds of pregnant. That baby must weigh 73 pounds in order for her to be that big. Because she could not have been more than 127 when I was hitting that. High five. To be honest, you're leaving me hanging.
It's because you're on the
High five,
phone,
yeah.
Chris. It's
Yeah.
because you're on the phone,
That's
and we're
true.
here in Los Angeles.
But a fan behind me just gave me a high five. Thank you. Oh, is that Gary? I think that's Gary. He goes through a lot of our games. He wears the hat.
Wow.
Gary the Hat Man.
Well, listen, Chris, we've kept you for a long time here, and I think it's possible they're going to want to put you back in
No,
the
to
game.
be honest, my coach has been yelling at me for the past 5 minutes.
Yeah, it is the playoffs,
Yeah.
Chris. So
Hey, no, just hold on. Don't ship your pants.
that's
Let's
Chris.
take
I
that
wouldn't.
kid
I
on
wouldn't. I wouldn't
commercial.
antagonize him. I
Did
really
you just
wouldn't
hear that over
antagonize
the
him.
phone? I just told
I
him
did
not
hear
to
that
ship
over the
his
phone.
There's
pants.
no way to talk to your
Absolutely.
coach.
Yeah.
There's no way
No.
to talk to your coach.
No, I've got to go into the game, so I got to go.
Okay.
All right, bye. It's been a pleasure. And now you've got the poop with Kris Humphries.
For you, the listeners of Sports Podcast, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. I personally recommend a wonderful book called The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Joel saw the movie. He said that it was okay. To download your free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network. Again, that's audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network for your free audiobook. And now it's time for another Weird Sports! Weird Sports.
All right,
Right.
what do you got?
This weird sport, Cuju.
Cuju.
Whoa! You can't just say that out loud, buddy.
What?
We're in
Cuju.
Los Angeles. It's a diverse place.
No, it's a weird sport.
Okay, you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not an ethnic slur.
No, it's not. Cuju, this ethnic slur oftentimes is used to describe... No, I'm on the wrong article.
Oh, geez.
Oh, man, maybe it... Oh, no, it is also a weird sport.
Okay.
Cuju is an ancient ball game with similarities to association football. It's seen by the FIFA, by the FIFA, as the earliest form of football, for which there is evidence being first mentioned as a military training exercise in the 2nd or 3rd century BC.
Well, that's ironic. It starts as a military training exercise, and then it turns into Well, what you have today.
Yeah, where there's lots of people biting at each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. This assertion is, however, contrived, as association football was based on Cambridge rules football, the origins of which was traced back to the very different ball game known as mob football, first played in Britain during the Middle Ages.
And for the record, we're not talking about football American. We are talking about soccer.
Oh, we're talking about kicking the little ball into the little nets and cheering or whatever the hell they do. Cuju actually originated in China, but was also played in Korea, Japan, and Vietnam. We take everything from them and we claim it as our own. Western civilization.
Hey, I've always had this fan.
What? No. Oh, I thought that you were being a hipster. Like, I was a fan before there were fans.
I was in Cuju before, it really got cool.
Yeah, I was playing Cuju in
Back in
4th
50
century
BC,
BC.
Things really sucked when Marco Polo came over and brought it back to the Europeans.
It's
They didn't get it.
Totally lame.
Yeah, it was weird. You had to close your eyes and yell Marco, and then they'd yell Polo. You know where the ball's at? Pff, whatever. That joke fell flat. History! The game of Cuju was first mentioned in the Zangochi.
This is pretty cool. This is super old weird sport.
Yeah, and then it was later in the Sima Quan CG.
Are these Chinese periodicals of some sort?
Oh, it was written during the Han Dynasty. No big deal or anything.
Hang on. That's like 200 BC?
I don't know.
I just
Han
took a wild
Dynasty.
stab at it. I have absolutely no idea.
Okay, some claim that the Yellow Emperor invented the game for military training purposes, while others place the emergence during China's Warring State period, which was 476 to 221 BC. That's a long period of time.
Yeah.
It would
I was
be
not
really
that
tough
far off.
to be, if you have a 200-year period that is referred to as the Warring State period.
Yeah. Oh, that was probably a hard time.
Yeah.
Our Civil War lasted for 4 years, and Ken Burns will not stop talking
I
about it.
know, right? On doing little Ken Burns effects on photos.
If you met
What a
the Ken
coincidence.
Burns of China, he would be exhausted.
He'd be very
He's
tired.
So tired.
I just got to read another book.
But no one would be tired of Shelby Foote talking about it.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. A competitive form of Cuju was used as fitness training for military cavaliers.
Well, this is all great about Cuju, but how do you play it? We've been talking about how it's been used in military training. We talked about how it's a precursor to soccer. What are some of the rules of Cuju?
Do you want me to just skip down to the rules? Because there's a lot of really fascinating history.
Oh,
Okay,
Joel
I'm
wants
sorry.
to hear the fascinating history.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Joel was a history major back in college,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
he loves this stuff. So during the Han Dynasty, the popularity of Cuju spread from the army to the royal courts and upper classes.
Ooh.
They were like, haha, let's play some Cuju.
The royal
with our
courts and upper
fancy
classes
dresses."
are always following the army.
Yeah. It is said that the Han Emperor Wu Di enjoyed the sport. A little known fact, Wu Di is also the lesser known member of the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah.
He
Also
ain't
the
nothing to
most
fuck with.
enthusiastic emperor ever.
He is.
It's actually pronounced Woo D.
Yeah. He was very good on defense because he could rally everybody together by yelling his name. Woody! At the same time, Cuju games were
There
standardized.
was that one time that they didn't think he was going to get into the game that season, and he always wanted to play, and then everyone started chanting Woo D,
Yeah.
Woo D, Woo D.
I heard
And
that.
then they put him in for the final play, and he got a sack. It was a big deal.
It
a
was,
really
yeah.
big
That was
deal.
somehow both a movie reference and a racial slur.
Hey, you know what? Then he had that hit single, I Only Want to Be With You, when he was playing with Woody and the Blowfish. So that was a good time. I stumbled over that punchline.
Are we sure we're moving on? Any more
Okay,
Woo-D puns that we're
there's-
gonna?
I mean, there's tons of history on this. Maybe I should just skip to the gameplay, huh?
oh,
I'm sorry. You can look it up by searching Cuju, C-U-J-U, on Wikipedia. Wikipedia,
thought
your
it was spelled
home
a
for
K.
information. Cuju, gameplay.
hey, how much did Wikipedia pay us for that?
Huh?
They're a nonprofit. They
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
they're totally.
All right.
They're
Yeah.
they're all about the higher ups learning.
That's
the
true.
learning.
I give them like
You know.
$50 a year.
for like Children's International could use that more than they could. Moving on, gameplay. Historically, there were two main styles of Cuju: Zukui and Baida. Zukui was commonly performed at court feasts, celebrating the emperor's birthday or during diplomatic events. A competitive Cuju match of this type was normally consisted of two teams with 12 to 16 players on each side.
All right.
Ooh.
It was like a mob. During these games, they all would, there was no defense or offense. Everyone was kicking the ball, trying to get in the net. Chaos. Chaos ensued. And then they would play. They would just play. Baida became dominant during the Song Dynasty, a style that attached much more importance to developing personal skills. Scoring goals became obsolete when using this method, with the playing field enclosed using thread and players taking turns to kick the ball within these set limits.
So that version of the game sounds awful lot like passing.
Right.
Yeah.
Or shuffleboard. You're trying to kick it hard, just hard enough to get to the sides, but not out.
Oh.
Yeah,
right.
it sounds like, hey, let's go have a game of catch.
Yeah. The number of fouls played by the players or from the players decided the winner. For example, if the ball was not passed far enough to reach the other team's members, points were deducted. If the point was kicked too far out, a large deduction from the score would result. Kicking the ball too low or turning at the wrong moment would lead to fewer points. Players could touch the ball at any part of their body except their hands, whilst the number of players ranged anywhere from 2 to 10. In the end, player with the highest score won.
That was really exciting.
Yeah, so it's like it was more about form.
It
Yeah.
sure sounds like it.
Yeah, they weren't even kicking in goals. They're just kicking back and forth. It's like dodgeball.
Sounds like they
Kick to
found a
them,
way
they
to
kick you.
take soccer and make it like even less interesting.
Yeah, but much like soccer, Cuju began to decline during the Ming Dynasty.
That's
Due
true.
to
That is true
neglect.
about soccer.
And the 2,000-year-old sport slowly faded away. But luckily, there's a Cuju club. In the 10th century, the Cuju club developed in China. Every year, there was a national championship organized by Cuju. Turns out it didn't continue on. There's no Cuju club now. I looked around. Maybe hipsters were doing it. But it made a comeback for a little while.
Oh man.
Wait, its comeback was in the 10th century?
Yeah.
That was its big...
But hey, I don't know.
We should be careful. I mean, if this word of this spreads, hipsters in Los Angeles will no doubt be forming Cuju leagues.
Yeah, good luck finding the
In
official
Silver
rules
Lake.
because I looked for them, could not find them. Could not find the official rules. All I saw was that freaking string thing.
Yeah, is that why you were wearing that fedora and carrying around the bullwhip the other day? You were looking for
Yeah.
the official rules of Cuju?
Well, I was looking for spices.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, from beyond. And that brings an end to another Weird Sport! Oh, that Weird Sport was full of history and knowledge and information!
Citizens of Podcast Town, that brings to the close another Sports
Sports!
podcast. But before we go, Phil would like to give you our contact information.
You can email us at sportspodcast@gmail.com. That's sportspodcast@gmail.com. You can tweet at us at sports3podcast. That's at sports3podcast. You can find us on Facebook by searching Sports Podcast, your little top bar thingy. You can find us on Stitcher Radio. Download the Stitcher app today at Stitcher.com and search for Sports Podcast. You can find us on YouTube, going to youtube.com/ComedyPodNet. That's youtube.com/ComedyPodNet. Please subscribe and check out all of our episodes there. You can find us on iTunes. Go on iTunes, search Sports the number 3 space podcast. That's Sports the number 3, all one word, space podcast. While you're there, please rate and review. Leave us a comment. It's a very, very nice thing to do. Or you can find all of our back episodes at ComedyPodcastNetwork.com.
Boy, guys, I'm really glad the podcast is over. I'm gonna have to go lie down for a second.
What's the matter?
Oh, I'm feeling really woody. Like woozy, but yeah? No?
No.
Shaking their head?
Absolutely not.
Lights off.
You have received this transmission from the Comedy Podcast Network. For more shows, visit comedypodcastnetwork.com.